What's going on, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. Gotta keep it quick because I'm on my way to work. Maybe got less than 10 minutes to go ahead and spit all this out. So let's dive right into it. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming back. Eagles versus Dallas. Was there ever any doubt? I mean, you had Micah coming back. The defense for Dallas looked like they were getting healthy. Maybe it was going to be a challenge. Maybe Dallas was going to put up a fight. Cooper Rush, Trey Lance. No. The beginning of the game, it was tight because their playmakers made plays. They were getting sacks off on us, which is to be expected. Our line's been a little bit in shambles since Mailata left. I know a lot of people are saying Fred Johnson has done a good job, which I don't want to hate on Fred. He's definitely been serviceable. But he's not Mailata, and it's been noticeable. Luckily, we got Mailata coming back this week. They released Jack Stoll. They're going to make room to bring Mailata back this week for the game on Thursday against the Commanders. So they got a couple sacks. They had a couple plays. Trayvon with an amazing pick. You were really hoping on the coverage that Calcaterra was going to hold Diggs to the outside, and that was going to free up Goddard. Didn't work out the way they hoped, but that's life. That's football. Jalen has been incredible for the past 5 games. I mean, great completion percentage, great touchdown to fumble to turnover ratio. Jalen has been ultra impressive through all of this. I really think that this team runs through Jalen. We have amazing talent. We have amazing depth. I mean, the defense has been putting up record numbers in terms of what they're holding quarterbacks to against the Giants and then against the Cowboys. Obviously, those aren't great teams. Those aren't great quarterbacks, but that's exactly what you want. Long gone are the days of Jim Schwartz facing off against a rookie quarterback and the rookie quarterback torching us and looking like prime Peyton Manning or prime Brady or something. So, it is a breath of fresh air to have a defense that comes to work and does their job. So, you really can't be mad about anything right now. We have an amazing test against the Commanders coming up this Thursday. It's definitely our first big test, I'll say, since, we've had tests. You play who's on the schedule, but I would say it's the biggest test since Green Bay. I think that Green Bay is another contender, and it's really going to show who we are this week. A.J. Brown, 100-yard game. I was looking at the stats before I got on here. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even realize that A.J. Brown had a 100-yard game. It was the most quiet 100-yard game I've ever seen. Goddard finally gets involved, gets a touchdown. It's been a while. Goddard's been hurt. I understand that. But even dating back to last year, it seemed like Goddard just wasn't having the production anymore. And then he misses a couple weeks, and Calcaterra comes in, and Calcaterra looked great. He looked, outside of run blocking, which, has never been Calcaterra's strong suit, he really looked good. He came out and he caught passes. He looked fast. He was where he needed to be. So, it was really interesting. You wanted to see Goddard come back and, put his foot down and get something done, score a touchdown or, just make an impact. So it was really nice to see Goddard out there, doing what you really want to see him do, which is production. Saquon Barkley didn't have a lot of carries in this game, tweaked his forearm at one point. Didn't really matter at that point. We were already pretty firmly in control. So we rotated in a lot of Gainwell and Shipley there closer to the end. Doesn't seem like anything that's going to be a problem. He wasn't even on the injury report this week. So I'd imagine that he's going to be full go this week, and he's going to be just fine. Was probably more precautionary than anything else. I think that's the biggest thing about this game. Yeah, we got a win over Dallas, and that's always nice because, we haven't had a lot of those in recent history. It's good to be on the winning side of these things again. But the best thing that happened in this game is that we came out healthy. Our injury report last week was looking a little scary. This week, it's looking a lot more manageable, especially going into such a big game against the Commanders, which Jaden Daniels, either way, Washington's quarterback has looked lights out. He's looked like he should have been the number 1 pick this year. Now, I won't say that, Caleb is a bust yet, but, Chicago has a way of making you think that. So, it's a big test this week. They got a great blend of veterans and young rookies playing together. They brought in Marshawn Lattimore, which, how much does he really have left in the tank? Makes you wonder. Also, we've gone against Marshon Lattimore plenty before. He's not exactly someone that scares me, but he is another playmaker that we're going to have to take account for. I really don't know what else to say at this point. I had all these ideas of things I was going to say and things we were going to talk about this morning, but, it's just the year's turning around. These last 5 games for the Eagles, it's just looked great. We've looked so much better. It's been night and day. Outside of a fluky performance against the Bucs, where our defense just seemed like they had no answers, we've looked amazing. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Jalen Hurts goes out and has 4 touchdowns to 2 turnovers, and the interception is just a great play by Diggs. Yeah, you'd like to see Jalen maybe hold his eyes a little further outside to kind of push Diggs out, but then you draw the free safety in on Goddard. So, I just think it was 4 verts on the goal line. Just, wasn't the greatest idea. I think the play calling was a little weak there. I don't really put that too much on Jalen. As far as the fumble, that is a little more on Jalen. He's got to have more awareness. He's got to understand that guys are coming free, and that he does not have as much time as he thinks he does. You'd like to see that get fixed up. But again, it didn't stop anything. It didn't stop us from winning this game. I thought late we kicked a lot of field goals, but I think that was also a product of we were already pulling guys off the field. And it just didn't seem like we wanted to show our hand too much, is what it really looked like to me. So, all in all, great game. Really excited for what the Eagles are doing. Really excited for what the Eagles are doing moving forward. A win this week will make the next 3, 4, 5 games a lot easier. You beat Washington, and then you've got the Ravens coming up soon, which is a game that I feel like we could lose. But at the same time, I feel like we should win. A clean game from Jalen will probably give us a win against Baltimore. But if we go ahead and we beat the Commanders this week, it gives us 1 game of breathing room in the division. So if we do drop that game, it just gives us a little more breathing room. We do have a tough stretch coming up. A couple teams that, are going to put up a fight. The Commanders, we've got the Ravens. It's not getting any easier. And this late in the season, the teams to beat are becoming more and more defined. So, I definitely want to see the Eagles keep pushing. I definitely want to see them keep fighting. This turnaround that they have looks great. Even Nick Sirianni, it's always so funny. You lose 1 game and everybody, including me, is, talking about firing Nick Sirianni. And now here we are. You've got the national media laughing at Eagles fans saying, why do you want this guy fired? And, we all know why. We all know why, because we live it every day. Philly sports fans are just a different breed than everyone else. And I think most NFL beat writers and reporters, they don't realize how much Philly actually cares about Philly. They just hear the noise from the outside and they, why does everyone hate Sirianni? Well, it's for good reason. We were 10-1 last year and we collapsed because of Sirianni. So you'll have to forgive us if we're not so excited about the hot start this year too, because we're just waiting for the collapse to happen. But with that said, with the coaching staff we have in place, with the guys we have in place, Nick has looked great. The team has looked great. Fangio's looked great. Kellen Moore looks like he's settling into his playmakers, what they're comfortable with, what they like. And I think we're only going to get better and better. I think Quinyon Mitchell is Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think Zach Bond is Defensive Player of the Year. I think Saquon Barkley could have an argument for Offensive Player of the Year. And, if Jalen keeps doing what Jalen's been doing, I think he could have a case for MVP this year. So when you put all those things together, you're going to have success. So, you just want to see everybody keep playing at the level they're at. But with that being said, guys, I love y'all so much. I got to get to work. I got a job. I wish I could do this for y'all full time, but unfortunately it does not pay the bills yet. Once again, I love y'all. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for everything you guys do with this channel. And with that being said, fly Eagles fly. Peace.